My name is Dylan. I'm in rabbinical school. I'm a male to female transsexual. I am Asperger's. I'm dyslexic, blind. I'm in a wheelchair. I have dysarthria, so I use AAC, and have non-epileptic seizures and epilepsy. I'm a musician and filmmaker, and I have a BA in history and an MBA in music business.
My name is Margot. I have cerebral palsy. I study biology at Penn State Harrisburg, and I'm an independent filmmaker.
As we reflect on our nation, we need to understand the hopes and dreams of those who came before us in the disability community and in turn the LGBT community. When I was growing up, I was taught to respect our elders and base my story off of their story.
These are their stories.
I grew up helping my family vote in the polling booth. I had my patriotic awakening on 9/11. We always debated history and politics. After 9/11, I became pro-army and learned to love the flag because I saw America was worth defending and freedom was sacred and that religious freedom was important as a Jew. When I was a young man, my special interest was G.I. Joe. I had a buzz cut. After 9/11, I understood the danger of Islam as we all did back then. I heard stories of those going to Iraq and Afghanistan and gained respect. As a teenager, I became left-wing, which was the opposite to how I was, but I was still patriotic. I knew our Constitution protected my free speech when I was a socialist.
Ready for your 15 minutes of fame, Leroy?
Oh yeah, I like fun. Because I'm little. Dylan, as an evil alien, I have to ask. You call yourself a patriot, but you attacked veterans verbally, so what do you have to say for yourself?
As a formerly evil alien, you know people can change. In PTSD, we call this responding to your inner child. I would like to think I have repented because it was wrong, and I have repented every Yom Kippur since then. And you should understand you treated your fellow experiments like shit, so can we both agree to do better?
Oh, yeah, I can do better. Yeah, I can do better.
By the time I was 25, I reflected on my leanings and I realized I was being lied to and they expected me to renounce my faith, so I felt betrayed and I thought believing in socialized healthcare meant we wanted the best for people. But as I learned the hard way, the moment I loved something bigger than myself, the party turned on me. You can find out more on my walk away video. When I was 25, I used financial aid money to move to TX and interact with people who have been called bigots and racists for commitments to Christianity and was embraced. In undergrad, I focused on grassroots movements of the disabled and LGBT, but also the founding of our country. Then I had the privilege of going to Israel and relearn patriotism. For all the talk of privilege in terms of minorities means nothing when you realize being gay and trans can get you killed in other cultures. Like being thrown off a roof in the Middle East. I accidentally walked into the Arab Quarter, and was afraid for my life because I knew if they clocked me as trans I would be killed and I didn't want an international incident. I had homophobic slurs directed at me in Buffalo, NY, but nothing like what I experienced in the Middle East, so I kept my trans status quiet at the wall when asked. I denied my transition, saying I was a guy, which is biologically true, but I haven't lived as a man in years. In Israel, disability rights law is not on it, even though it is on the books, and disability culture does not exist. I came back to the USA and was greeted with a wheelchair, which was like a red carpet, and little did I know the wheelchair would become a permanent fixture in my life. When I was in Israel, I became Orthodox, which heightened my perspective on patriotism because nothing teaches you that more than being openly religious. In Eastern Europe, my ancestors experienced pogroms and the Holocaust, so how lucky am I to live in a country that has enshrined religious freedom since its inception. Only in America can the founding documents lay the groundwork for ending slavery, Stonewall riots, and the Capitol crawl, and I have an MBA. In other countries I would be barred from pursuing higher education, but here I am loved for who I am. When October 7th happened, I was living in Florida. I was reminded of the privilege of living in America because I knew Hamas would kill me. I was always taught to respect Holocaust survivors, and hatred of our people has been going on since the Bible. We have always been hated, but America has always been there for us, so we have always been there for America. America was never perfect and was never utopia, but a pursuit of a more perfect union. To be an American is not based on one's identity, but a buying in of the ideals of the founding fathers, of rights coming from God, not government, and the idea of protecting negative rights of people, and the idea from Genesis that we are all made in the image of God from the moment of conception.
So, this is the prayer for our country.
Mhm.
America is an exemplary nation, so I would like to end with a few prayers for our country. Yeah. This prayer is commonly said during the morning service, particularly on the Sabbath.
Our God and God of our ancestors, with mercy accept our prayer on behalf of our country and its government. Pour out your blessing upon this land, upon its inhabitants, upon its leaders, its judges, officers, and officials, who faithfully devote themselves to the needs of the public. Help them understand the rules of justice you have decreed, so that peace and security, happiness and freedom, will never depart from our land. Adonai, God whose spirit is in all creatures, we pray that your spirit be awakened within all the inhabitants of our land. Uproot from our hearts hatred and malice, jealousy and strife. Plant love and companionship, peace and friendship. Our God and God of our ancestors, with mercy accept our prayer on behalf of our country and its government. Pour out your blessing upon this land, upon its inhabitants, upon its leaders, its judges, officers, and officials, who faithfully devote themselves to the needs of the public. Help them understand the rules of justice you have decreed, so that peace and security, happiness and freedom, will never depart from our land. Adonai, God whose spirit is in all creatures, we pray that your spirit be awakened within all the inhabitants of our land. May it be your will that our land be a blessing to all who dwell on earth, and may you cause all peoples to dwell in friendship and freedom. Speedily fulfill the vision of your prophets. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more, for all of them, from the least of them to the greatest, shall know me. May it be your will that our land be a blessing to all who dwell on earth, and may you cause against nation, neither shall they learn war any more, for all of them, from the least of them to the greatest, shall know me. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more.
Now I will end with a blessing for the IDF because patriotism doesn't patriotism doesn't revolve around America completely for those of us who are Jewish. So while I did give special attention to American soldiers, I also want to acknowledge Israeli ones as well, a lot of whom are American in their descent, uh, in the sense that they come from America, some of whom are lone soldiers, no family that came from various countries, including America, in the past, to stand for all of us. And I want to acknowledge them in this video too, because freedom doesn't exist in a vacuum. Oh, Tenu, Amitska, Nea, Tov, Eva, Eva, Israel, New, Aya, New, 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 I mean, it's gone. Yeah, the cold. Ever. So, so,